Good afternoon, 4 o'clock on your Monday. I'm Kim Christensen. Tom is off today, but guess who's back? Alexandra Lewis, back from maternity leave. We are so glad you're back.
Thank you. It feels good. You know, always like a bittersweet moment, but it feels good to be back in this chair sitting next to you.
Okay, I won't say anything to make you tear up because
I know. Let's leave that. We'll have another segment so I can, ball it out.
we are. We get photos.
Yeah.
So that's why you have to stick around. You have to see photos. But we'll start with the weather. We're going to take a live look outside. Our 9 News Weather Impact team is tracking a warm up this week, but look at that. That's a soupy mess. We're going to get into the 90s after a weekend soaker. It really rained a lot this weekend. We're going to have your forecast in just a few minutes.
Yeah, over the weekend, we saw a lot of rain, heavy winds, hail. This is what it looked like in Loveland on Saturday. You can see it is just coming down. In Berthoud, some spots there got hammered with hail. Mark sent us this view just before about 4 o'clock Saturday afternoon. Saturday wasn't the end of it. Yesterday, we saw heavy rain and winds again. This video shows some of the pea-sized hail we saw in Centennial. New warning system got a workout when all that heavy rain swamped a Denver underpass Saturday night.
That system is designed to keep people from driving into an area that is prone to flooding during major storms. It's right along a section of 38th Avenue, just west of I-25. Kevin Vaughn with our 9 Investigates team joins us here in the studio. And Kevin, no one ended up hurt, but it's never really a surprise when this happens in that spot.
Alex and Kim, the city has known for years that the storm drain system around this overpass just is not big enough to handle heavy rainfall. There's a plan to upgrade it, but so far, not the money. Around noon today, traffic flowed under the train tracks on 38th Avenue east of Jason Street. The yellow flood warning signs, an afterthought. The system's flashing lights, dim. A big change from 40 hours earlier, when rain lashed the city.
It was coming down so hard that we could not see a thing. We couldn't see at all, so that's why we had pulled over there.
There was near this underpass with a long history of flooding, and this is what Sydney Field and her family saw. Cars and an RTD bus caught in the lake that formed on the roadway.
It was definitely scary in the overpass just for it to fill up anytime that it rains and for it to fill up that quickly.
It was a first-time experience for Field, and that's saying something, considering she's been through hurricanes before.
We stayed home. That was more like we knew that the hurricane was coming. It wasn't so unexpected.
The flood was unexpected for Field. She and her family live in Boulder County, but it was no surprise for longtime Denver residents.
A lot of the comments was, well, if you're from Denver, then you know to avoid that area when it rains.
It's well known in city government, too. The upgrades that area needs have been in Denver's storm drain master plan since 2019. Back then, the price was estimated as high as $32 million. Today, it would likely be 2 to 3 times that. This new warning system includes a monitor that sounds an alert if there's more than 10 inches of water. That alarm went off about 9 p.m. Saturday, and a crew on standby responded. When they got to the scene, Denver police and Denver firefighters were already there. Denver Fire tells us they were involved in 15 to 20 water rescues Saturday night, mostly people trapped in their cars. In the studio, Kevin Vaughn, 9 News.
Wow. Scary, though, no matter what. There's never the money, but Kevin, you want the money for it.
Find it somewhere. That's incredible.
Man.
It's not known yet when they're going to try to work on that.
Wow. All right. Thank you so much. Right now, 25 million people are under heat alerts with temperatures in the 100s. This is a look at the temperatures today across the West. Yesterday, Las Vegas broke yet another heat record, topping out at 114 degrees. And while we're going to see that hot weather return, we're also dealing with some really bad air today. The conditions so bad, we had an air quality alert, and Sky 9 had to land shortly after taking off this morning, about 30 minutes ago, because of the low visibility outside.
And of course, our 9 News Weather Impact team tracking the heat in Colorado today. Kathy joining us with what's happening.
You guys, I was here over the weekend, first of all, when those storms hit on Saturday night. It was crazy, the severe weather in downtown Denver. That was our best shot at seeing some beneficial rain because the heat that you all just mentioned, that is part of another heat dome that is in fact headed for Colorado. And we're going to start to move into some of that warm air tomorrow. But today, it is all about the areas of smoke descending on the metro area, even up over elevated terrain. We have air quality alerts out for wildfire smoke smoke, but also high concentrations of ozone. There are isolated storms that we are tracking along the Front Range, but the big weather theme is the smoke and then the haze and also the heat that is coming. And so current readings in the 80s, probably the coolest day of the week will be today because we're headed right back to 90 tomorrow. And you'll notice the east to northeast winds. That's pushing that poor air right into the urban corridor. This is wildfire smoke, not from Colorado, but from Canada. It's coming up and over the top of this dominant ridge of high pressure coming right in along the Front Range. We'll start to see some improvement tomorrow and then certainly by Wednesday morning. But those with sensitive respiratory issues or in sensitive groups need to stay indoors in the AC. We're not going to get much rain tonight. We're tracking isolated storms moving from north to south just west of the I-25 corridor. And these are your temperatures between now and the dinner hour. Very comfortable, but much more on the incoming heat wave. We'll have that. And maybe when that smoke moves out, we'll have that in our weather forecast in just a bit.
Kathy, thanks. The Larimer County Sheriff's Office says the man shot by police Sunday afternoon has died. They say the officer hurt in that shootout will recover. The shooting happened a little after noon Sunday after a rollover crash at Bryan and Mountain Avenues just west of downtown Fort Collins. Investigators say they found Clayton Pierce outside the car holding a gun. The sheriff's office says there was a shootout and one officer was hit. That officer is now out of the hospital. Now, investigators say Pierce ran into Grandview Cemetery where there was another shootout there. The sheriff's office says Pierce died at the hospital. His criminal record shows a lengthy criminal history for drug possession, DUI, assault, and possession of a weapon as a felon.
Today, Denver Mayor Mike Johnston took the stage for his first State of the City address since being elected. He gave a speech from the Paramount Theater downtown. He talked about the successes of last year. This includes welcoming more than 30,000 immigrants to the city and cutting down on crime across the board. Johnston says auto thefts are down 30%, with shootings and homicides both seeing a 27% decrease. He also looked ahead at the year to come and the work that needs to be done to revitalize downtown, with the city working on the Vibrant Downtown campaign. The mayor says it'll be the largest ever investment into downtown without raising taxes.
We will use these resources to turn downtown from a central business district to a central neighborhood district, complete with affordable housing and public parks, childcare, great retail, restaurants, art and music, and walkable, activated streets where you can get lost in a vibrant world that you can only find in Denver.
Mayor Johnston also focused on his response to ending street homelessness and creating more affordable housing. 9 News reporter Angeline McCall will take a deeper look at the mayor's homelessness initiative, coming up at 6 on Next with Kyle Clark.
On July 13th, we failed. As a director of the United States Secret Service, I take full responsibility for any security lapse of our agency.
The head of the Secret Service getting grilled on Capitol Hill today. Director Kimberly Cheadle testified on the failures that led to the attempted assassination of Donald Trump. She was asked why the event went forward, even after agents became aware of a suspicious man in the crowd. She also admitted that she has yet to even visit the site of the shooting. Director Cheadle told the House committee she expects her agency's internal probe to take about 60 days, which some members called unacceptable.
Today, Democratic Governor Jared Polis went on CNN singing the praises of Vice President Kamala Harris as the potential presidential candidate. He also endorsed her, but went a step further today, saying she is uniquely qualified and would do a great job.
Kamala Harris is going to be an amazing president, and as the father of a 10-year-old daughter, I was so excited to be able to tell her yesterday that our country is about to have our first woman president. It's about time.
Even though Harris is not the official nominee yet, there is speculation about who might be her possible running mate. Governor Polis's name has been tossed around. He says his phone hasn't been ringing just yet, but if that call came, he would take a serious look into it. Several other top Democrats have publicly thrown their support behind Vice President Kamala Harris as well.
She raised nearly $81 million in the first 24 hours of her campaign. NBC's Alice Barr has more on the new endorsements we saw come out just today.
With the political world drastically shifting, Vice President Kamala Harris is looking for solid ground in the first full day of her presidential campaign, praising President Biden after he announced he's dropping out of the race for the White House.
Joe Biden's legacy of accomplishment over the past 3 years is unmatched in modern history.
She did not directly address the president's endorsement for her to be the nominee, as top Democrats line up to support her, from former President Clinton to former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Congressman Jim Clyburn.
She is well equipped to prosecute, I want to emphasize, to prosecute the case against Donald Trump.
Other leading Democrats stopping short of a full endorsement for now.
She's exciting the country. And so I'm looking forward to sitting down with her.
The 59-year-old former prosecutor, California Attorney General, U.S. Senator, and first female vice president, meeting today with campaign staff after promising to earn and win the nomination.
I don't think that her performance as VP has been notable.
And being the first black woman president, potentially, it was just very exciting for me.
The Trump campaign forced to change gears with President Biden's age and mental acuity off the table, now tying Vice President Harris to what they see as the administration's weaknesses, especially border security. The vice president's nomination is not a lock, though the party is hoping to swiftly unite to take on former President Trump. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Tens of thousands of black women are also showing their support for Harris. After Biden dropped out, 40,000 people joined a Zoom call with the organization Win with Black Women. They talked about how to support and campaign for Harris. We'll have more on that story for you coming up at 4:30.
During Vice President Kamala Harris's speech today, you may have noticed something Colorado in D.C. Standing behind the VP is a man in a Colorado ski team shirt, complete with the CU Buffs pin. Pretty cool to see on a national stage, and he has great posture. Well, it turns out the whole CU ski team is in Washington, D.C. right now. This is the team picture they shared on the lawn of the White House. The team is there visiting the White House this week as part of College Champions Day. The CU ski team won their 21st national title earlier this year. I'm told that is Magnus Bo. He's now a graduate student from Norway, but he was right there. I don't know if he knew he was in the camera shot the whole time, but he was there.
Yeah, and you see the Colorado at first, I'm like, is there something more to it? And then to hear it was like the entire team there. I'm like, all right, way to represent.
So what a day for them. I mean, you go there, that's that trip to the White House that every championship team dreams for, but then this year it's like major history happening right there.
On a very special day, that's right.
Yeah, cool.